Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the course on how to become a 3D illustrator. In this episode we'll be doing this Dieselpunk scene you can see on the screen. It was quite popular on my social media, so I thought I will use this idea, and there will be a lot of stuff that you already know, so I will try to move at a little bit quicker pace, but we'll add some things like simple car modeling and working with pipes, text, using photo reference and blueprints to model, and some of my favorite tricks of reusing the geometry. And then of course I will talk about Eevee a little bit more, and basically the final scene will be set up in Eevee. So let's have a look around the scene. But before we jump right into that, I want to talk a little bit about the ideas behind this and inspiration in general. When it comes to creative process, when you actually need to do something, when you have a deadline and you have something coming up and you have to create something on demand, the first thing is putting in some serious homework, studying the context of the work, or studying the proper context of the project, and maybe putting together some mood boards. There are a lot of tools you can use for this. I, for example, use a lot of Pinterest to create the mood boards. So if I have a project coming up and I don't know, it's about the space theme and I want it to go some direction, I search for similar images that fit that style, and yeah, just put them on the mood board and create a really large mood board that serves me then as a style guide and as a discovery tool to really find some things I can study a little bit deeper. And yeah, then if you have this figured out, then it's just showing up for work, sitting down and modeling something, creating something, illustrating something. You need to put in the hours. And the next thing that's quite essential is ability to iterate on the various ideas and the ability to let go of some things. So if you put in some hours to modeling, for example, some building or a car or anything, and you have this feeling, this hunch that it's not quite what you expected, don't be afraid to let it go, delete it, or move it somewhere else. Just remove it from the scene and try something different. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to do because you already put in those hours of work, and yeah, that's certainly something you need to learn a little bit. So for example, this scene right here comes from various sources, and the main building design is inspired by Diner on the Route 66, and I've made a similar scene before, and here I just used it in this science fiction context, and it worked nicely with all the neons, and it had a bit of cyberpunk vibe to it, but I didn't really wanted to create a cyberpunk scene, and I was researching a lot about the other images I saw with like the old cars remade into the flying vehicles, and I found out that there's a complete genre around that, and it's called Dieselpunk, and it's based on industrial era with all the futuristic elements in it. So basically what Dieselpunk means is you take some era from the 20th century, you freeze the style, you freeze the architecture and the design, and you put in some futuristic things in it, so the cars can fly and the buildings float in the sky and stuff. So yeah, and as I study deeper and deeper more into this, the ideas just start to pop up in your head. So that's because it's essential to do your homework, to read a lot about these things, and to go a little bit more deeper when you're researching for your project.